Ahoy! Welcome into the Junk Drawer, part of the Cork Bats Podcast Network. AD is back this week.
He's back. He's back.
And so is Derrick Henry.
Yes, he is.
Coincidence?
Doubtful.
Today is September 20th, 2021. What is up, Junkies? I'm Austin. That's AD. What's up, AD?
Austin, it's only week 2, and my heart is already broken. Season's over. It's over. It was a good run.
It was a good run. The Steelers had a great season. My condolences go out to you. It's funny because the Titan season ended last week.
Right.
So
that's right. Yeah.
I know where you're at. At. It's a tough spot to be in. It's brutal. But look, just what you got to do is figure out a way to get through these next 6 days. The next 6 days are the toughest because
occupy my mind a little bit, just not think about football.
The feeling after a loss might be one of the worst feelings ever, especially in football, because you have that whole week to just dwell on it and hoping you're not even sure that that feeling is going to go away for the next 6 days after that. So you have to just kind of bite the bullet. You know what,
though? I try to spin things in a positive way. And last year, the Steelers made it to 11-0. And, the trajectory of my happiness was just, it just kept going up and up. And then just to come crashing and burning, multiple weeks after that. So I'd rather it week 2 than week 11 this year.
Sure. Right.
So
and that's the way to look at it, I think, is because last year you were riding high and then you came crashing down. If you just stay down, the crash isn't as severe, and the only way to go is up.
Is up, yeah, and that's the hope. That's the hope. So it is early in the season, but a lot of groin injuries yesterday. So
there were a crap ton of injuries yesterday, especially by starting quarterbacks. Like what's with that?
I don't know. It must have been the witching hour for all of the NFL or something.
Yesterday, especially by starting quarterback. It was a weird day. It was I mean, I don't want to say good day since you're literally just saying how bad it was. But but the games were good, I guess. I don't know.
Games were all right. The games were all right. I think it was great to cap it off with Chiefs Ravens game. I thought that was a heck of a game, and it was fun to watch. So I mean, certainly, it made things. I would rather have seen the Chiefs win since the Steelers lost, but it was a good game. And I hate to, for the Cinnaboys out there, it probably sucks seeing Patrick Mahomes throw an interception in September.
Yeah, and AD, I don't know how you feel, but Patrick Mahomes looks like, how we always say, Patrick Mahomes looks dumb in a helmet.
Mm-hmm.
He looked especially dumb in a helmet last night. I don't know if it was the headband was a little bit lower than normal or what, but my man, it's almost like he knows that he looks dumb in a helmet and he's trying to look at as dumb as possible.
You got to give him some credit, though. I mean, not everyone can look that dumb in a helmet,
And that's the thing too. It's like not everyone. Very few people do look that dumb in a helmet. He looks like he's got overprotective parents that are like, Patrick, make sure you wear your helmet. It's like, I don't want to I don't look cool in this helmet. And they're like, Patrick, you need to wear your helmet right now. That is the way he looks. I dare I say I feel bad for
him. I mean, it's something that he has to deal with. So I understand where you're coming from.
It is something that he has to deal with. That was a good rebuttal there, AD. I think we're legally required by law to tell you to subscribe, rate, and review, since this is a podcast. Or if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, Twitter, follow, Facebook, please. Do it all. Also, do us a favor. Retweet it, share the stream, help, the more people we get in here, the more fun it is. If you want to comment along, the best comments will get added to the show. We're also now on Instagram at CorkBats2.
That's right.
Because that CorkBats was taken from us from the cold, dead, lifeless grip of Dana White, that monster.
You know, I think I still have a little bit of hope that it will make a return at some point. Like, like maybe when we least expect it, we'll be like, it'll just come back and we'll be all fired up. And maybe it's a dream. I think it could be a dream.
I sometimes will have that dream where it's like I'll meet someone who works at Facebook, and they'll be like, yeah, we got our account, and they're like, oh, you got your. Oh, I can help you out with that.
I press a button real quick.
Yeah. Oh, just let me know. Like I got you. And then they go and they get it back. And then I wake up so happy, only to be disappointed knowing it was just a dream.
It was just a dream.
Before we get into Good, Back, Ugly, AD, I got to ask you this. Were you off last week because you were ashamed that for the first time in your life that you did not hail to Pitt, they beat Tennessee? Is that why you were off last week? Like, because you predicted Tennessee would win.
I did predict that.
And you were a Pitt Panther. You were always H2Ping. You were always hailing to Pitt.
This is true. This is true.
You didn't for the first time ever. And Tennessee, it was almost like Tennessee did you a favor because they were so ashamed that you did not hail to Pitt that they were like, we're not going to win this game.
And yes, that is true. But I will say that I was just a week too soon on my prediction because I don't know if you saw this weekend. Pitt took the field against, a team that isn't necessarily a team that you would really consider good, Western Michigan.
Right.
And they got their asses handed to them. So I don't know what that says about, if it says more or less about Tennessee, since I predicted Tennessee to beat Pitt, but
right.
I don't know. You can tell where the program is at just based on that result alone. So the fact that Pitt lost to Western Michigan at home, I think they were like 14.5-point favorites. It's just, that's really the status of the program. They're going to come off a big win in Tennessee.
Sure.
SEC school, and then turn around and lose to a MAC school the next week. It's hard to figure this team out,
Was it? And it was at home.
It was at home. It was a rough weekend for Heinz Field.
Heinz Field had a rough weekend this weekend.
Yeah,
I'll say.
So obviously they play at Heinz Field. I don't even know if they deserve to be playing at Heinz Field, honestly.
Right.
They should be playing. They should be playing at a high school stadium at this point. But
I'm sure Tennessee fans were like, "Where was that Pitt at Neyland 2 weeks ago?" Like, and that's the way I feel about Mizzou. Mizzou lost to Kentucky 2 weeks ago, and it was a very tight game. It came down to the closing seconds, and then Kentucky goes out and barely beats Chattanooga this past Saturday.
Oh gosh!
And I'm like, where was that Kentucky team when they were playing Mizzou? It's like the teams get up for big games, and then all of a sudden they just fall flat.
Football's a funny sport.
No true word. Hey, remember to water your plants. Football is a funny sport.
It's a funny sport.
All right, AD. Let's get into our staple segment right here. Good, back, and ugly. What do you got for your good of the week?
Well, so my good of the week is very simple. It is really just. And it's kind of a sensitive subject because I was just talking about how bad the game was, but it was really just being back in the stands with fans. It was truly magical. And having been to a couple games last year where the fans were all spread out and there was social distancing rules, everyone was wearing masks. It felt weird being back in the stadium with fans and with just all these people, just even like walking up into the game, just like all the people tailgating. It's truly a beautiful sight. And I really just, I can't express how awesome it was just to be with everyone. And when we were standing in line, there was a guy behind us, and you could tell he was going to be one of those guys that wanted to talk a lot. So he comes up and says hello to me. Obviously I have no clue.
Oh no, that's a bad start.
no clue who this guy is, and clearly he's had a few drinks at the tailgate. And he starts to tell me, he's like, last week in Buffalo, they said you had to wear a mask and said no one's wearing a mask. And he's like, same thing with State College last night. So this guy was at the Bills game last week, Bills Steelers first game of the year.
Yeah.
He went to the Penn State game the night before the Steelers game. So Penn State Auburn, which was 100,000 plus.
Yeah.
And then he was at the Steelers game. So he made his rounds, I guess. Really,
made his rounds. Probably has COVID.
Has COVID.
Yeah, he'll
probably
be calling into work. Work at the end of this week. That's so he's basically like a football groupie, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine the ticket cost alone. Not forget the $9 beers that you're spending, $10
and the travel,
and the travel, just the ticket cost alone. The guy must be rich. I don't know, but he made it clear that and then it was one of those things where he started talking. I was like, oh God, I got to get away from this. And someone else kind of stepped in. I just moved to the side and just walked away from him a little bit. I was like, I'm done with this guy.
I suddenly don't want to wait in this line anymore. I don't need a beer. I will go.
This was just to get into the game even. So this
was to get into the game.
This is before kickoff. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're I don't even need to get into the game. I'll just watch from home.
Might go to another gate actually.
Yeah. Right. Oh my gosh. That's funny. So what's the wildest thing you saw yesterday?
Oh, well, I didn't see it myself, but there was a capture from someone, and you posted it to our Twitter.
Yeah.
And I think many people have seen this by now.
Okay. All right. So I dare you answer the question. Was that you? Because you technically never responded.
Okay, so there's two things. Number one, I don't have a Bettis jersey, so that cannot be me. And
not anymore because you pooped all over it.
I pooped all over it, and his hair is a little short for that to be me. So
well, he is looking down. So how do we know the hair isn't in front of him?
All over the sink?
Yeah, right.
But, truly legendary, though. So for our podcast audience out there, it's a person pantsless in the bathroom, washing said pants.
Yep, in the sink.
Which and those are the type of sinks where you have to put your hands under, and then it only stays on for 5 seconds. So
yeah, right.
You had to keep moving it back and then putting it back in.
He missed an entire quarter at least doing this whole procedure,
washing those pants. And he said the caption to the picture is, "I've never been happier. Dude pooped his pants and is weighing them out." So he got a nice little Pittsburgh accent in there in the sink. Steeler football is back.
Steelers football is back.
And he couldn't have put it a better way.
Right.
So not only did this happen, so not only were there people pooping their pants in the stands, but I saw Jesus at the game. Someone was dressed as Jesus. And I didn't get a picture with him, but there were tons of people taking pictures with him. I'm not sure if he even watched a second of the game because so many people were taking pictures with him.
Yeah.
But there was that, I saw, and I always love the random jerseys that you see at NFL games. So I saw a Bills jersey, which was a week too late, and it wasn't the guy I saw walking into the game. Rams jersey, Titans t-shirt. I mean, we really had the whole thing represented across the board. It was just great to be back. And next week I plan on getting more videos, more pictures. So if you want to follow along, make sure you get on our Instagram and watch our stories, because that's where I posted a lot of stories yesterday from the game.
Yeah.
And
so my favorite thing that you found yesterday, which I don't even think this was posted to the stories, you just sent this to me, was my man right here in the Titans jersey. I don't even know if you can see that. Can you see that? Yeah, there we go. In the Titans jersey, but the Titans shirt. All right, look at this dude. First of all, is that me? It like that real splotchy beard and the backwards cap.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you grew a beard that sort of looked Amish a little bit, and
I'm trying to think. I don't think I was in Pittsburgh yesterday, but I don't know. First of all, how do we feel about people who wear team apparel of a team that's not even playing at the game they're attending?
Yeah, but what is the point of that? So like, are you just trying to make a statement like, look, I don't even like these teams, but I'm here,
Yeah, what do you you have, and look, don't get me wrong, I love Titans dude here. In fact, I am almost talking about everyone but Titans dude here. All right.
Yeah, right.
Obviously.
Well, and in Titans dude defense, Titans didn't play till 4:00 that day. So he was watching the game. He's watching a 1:00 game on the East Coast.
How do we know he wasn't on his way to the Titans game? He was just making a stop at Heinz Field for a bit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my man, I don't understand the whole, I'm going to wear uniform, or I'm going to wear like a shirt or a jersey or a hat. You see it a lot I think NFL games are the worst for it. And then I think Major League Baseball games are the second worst for it, where people are like, they'll just wear their favorite team's apparel, even if they're not playing that game. It's like, guys, you don't have to do that. In fact, don't do that. I would say.
Please don't, actually. Yeah.
Don't do that. It's so stupid. Just wear, look, if you're going to the Steelers game and you don't like the Steelers, wear Raiders colors, or just wear a neutral color. Don't wear team apparel, because then you just look like a doofus. You look like a lost doofus, you know? You look like you don't know where you're at. And again, this Titans guy in the Titans shirt standing outside of Heinz Field, he's completely, I'm not talking to him. I'm talking to everyone else. All right.
Everyone except him. Right.
Everyone except him. Don't keep wearing the other team's jerseys if they're not playing. I think there should be a dress code, a strict dress code for all stadiums, to where you can only wear either neutral colors or clothes for either team that is playing.
Again, though, is it so to spark conversation? Is it so people come up to you and be like, what are you doing here? Or like, what's the reasoning behind
it? What's the purpose behind it? Yeah.
You know what? Next week, because I'll be at next week's game too against the Bengals. If there's anyone wearing a jersey that's not Bengals or Steelers, I'm gonna go up to them and just
please
ask them.
Please
I'm
gonna
ask them.
Yeah, just ask them and get it on video.
And we can circle back here. Yeah.
Yes. Please do that. Please do that. Okay. All right. So AD's little trip to Heinz Field, success outside of the loss.
It's my good of the week, except the loss. Yeah.
Except the loss. And AD did not poop his pants.
I did not poop my pants.
We got the answer.
Glad we cleared that up. Yeah.
Okay. My good, back, and ugly is here 1821.
What you got this week?
Football quotes are my good of the week. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
And football quotes are like its own breed. They're its own special breed of anything, like where there's quotes and then there's football quotes. And football quotes to me are some of the greatest quotes that you will ever get ever. And like, obviously, like, you know, I all know like, oh, there's like, you know, football guy and stuff like that. But to me, this is slightly different, to where it's just, there's so many good quotes. And so I've got a couple of quotes that I want to share with you right now.
Not Titans guy.
Yeah, not Titans guy.
Get him off there. Yeah.
I want to share this. So first up is, of course, Mike Leach. Okay. Right. Mike Leach, as we know, is a great
is that Mississippi State? Where's he coaching?
Mississippi State head coach. Yeah, formerly of Washington State. Before he put Craig James's kid in a woodshed. He was at Texas Tech, if we all remember that.
That's right. I remember that.
He's had success everywhere he's gone. He's a good football coach. I don't know how he does it. And sorry, I'm just tweeting this
it's all right.
link out.
Well, Washington, they or Mississippi State played. Who was it this past week? They I think they lost though, didn't they?
They did lose. Yeah, they did lose.
I just can't remember who they played though.
Mississippi State lost to Memphis. They lost to Memphis.
That's
right. It was that wild punt play that happened.
Yes,
where like it was about to be ruled dead, and then the
guy picked it up. And then that's right.
Look, without having a dog in the hunt, that was an awesome play. And I know, I know people are complaining because the ref started to he technically didn't blow the whistle, but he started to wave down and he tossed the beanbag down. First of all, the beanbag means nothing. The beanbag does not mean
it's
end
a
of play,
placeholder, right?
Right. Yeah. The beanbag means nothing, but him starting to wave his arms, then I think maybe you have an argument. But so my football quotes this week, got one from Mike Leach. Okay. And so Mike Leach, Mississippi State plays LSU this week. All right. Mm-hmm. And he said the newness of COVID made last year's game versus LSU interesting, but it was exciting to finally play. Let me read you this whole quote, okay? Because this thing is wild.
Oh, gosh.
He says, and picture this in Mike Leach voice. I wish I could do a Mike Leach voice, but he says, it was such a swirl of what was happening, or it was such a, I don't even think I could do it. It was such a swirl of what was happening all over the place. There's a point where I can't remember if we were going to play or not. Everybody's messing with this COVID stuff. COVID this, COVID. I mean, and that was back, keep in mind, that was just still at the point where everybody loves saying COVID. The news hadn't worn off. People would say COVID 5 times just to get a good taste in their mouth. And so then we go in there and we're very happy we had the opportunity to play. Thrilled about that. But yeah, we played, and it was such an intense game, as it is when you play LSU, because they're so big and fast. It was a very explosive game on both sides. Well, anyways, we won it. It was a good, exciting game. First of all, I go ahead.
Well, the anyways is just with the chef's kiss, just right at the end there.
The anyways is what you hit people with when you're like, you don't know where you're going and you're like, I need to wrap this up. Like when you have that self-awareness that I've been talking too long and I'm kind of going in circles now. I love that he said everyone's messing with this COVID stuff. COVID this, COVID. And he goes, I mean, and that was back, keep in mind, that was still at the point where everybody loves saying COVID. The news hadn't worn off. Now,
is that true though? Do people love saying COVID? Is that
well? I'll say this, and not that I come to the defense of Mike Leach very often, but there was a point early on during the whole pandemic when I was saying coronavirus because it was funny to say, like coronavirus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
no one knew what COVID was. Nobody even knew that was like a name. So it was like, oh, they got coronavirus. Freaking what's his name who touched all the microphones for the Jazz? Why am I
blanking? Oh my gosh, he's French. I can't think of his name though.
Rudy Gobert.
Yes,
when Rudy Gobert touched all those mics, we were like, oh my gosh, he just came down with coronavirus. So everyone says coronavirus. And then COVID started becoming more and more, and it just became faster to say. So everyone was saying COVID. So I do agree with Mike Leach here that there was a point where everyone was like, oh yeah, COVID's the way to go. Like COVID's the word. and yeah, I just love that people would say COVID 5 times just to get a good taste in their mouth. So AD, what I want to do here before I move on to my next football quote is I want to do 2 things. One, can you hit me with COVID 5 times in a row?
COVID.
All right, now. All right, now, what's the taste you have in your mouth? Describe the taste?
Well, I think the ironic thing about what he said is that COVID, caused you to lose your taste of smell in some instances, right? So, or your taste of smell. I just said your sense of taste and your sense of smell. So,
right, yeah, no, that's a great point, AD, because it's like, yeah, people would say COVID 5 times a day just to get a good taste in their mouth. Mike, COVID takes away the taste in your mouth.
Takes away
so it should be people say COVID 5 times just to get the taste out of their mouth. All right, I want to try now. COVID.
Did it help?
I'm getting kind of like a minty
Did it
strawberry flavored.
like you just chewed a piece of gum or something?
Yeah. Oh, that's if I ever have like bad breath and I don't have like an Altoid handy, I'm just gonna just say COVID 5
That's
times.
gonna be
See
your
if,
go-to.
yeah, see if that helps. COVID. All right. Now last thing before we move on. AD, how many times can you say COVID in a row? Ready? Go.
COVID. I could probably go all day, honestly. I'll be here all day as well, so you know where to find me. If you want me to keep going, yeah.
COVID.
It would be harder to say coronavirus that many times in a row because
right?
that's when you'd slip up. COVID is easy; it rolls off the tongue. It's a little easy to say.
And that's where I kind of agree with Mike Leach there. With the
leaving a good taste in your mouth.
Yeah. Let me see. Wait, no, that's not what I want. I'm trying to pull up my
another quote.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to share my oh, here we go. Okay. So my other quote comes from Alejandro Villanueva.
Former Steeler.
Yeah. Former Steeler, former Army. Used to be in the Army.
Army Ranger. Old Al, they call him.
His football quote, this is Alejandro Villanueva talking about playing tackle. All right. He says, it reminds me of jumping out of airplanes when I was in the Army. All right. Let me repeat that. This is him talking about playing tackle in the NFL. All right. It reminds me of jumping out of airplanes when I was in the Army. There's very little upside. The best thing that can happen when you jump is you survive. Playing tackle is kind of the same way. The best thing that can happen is that nothing happens.
I mean, at first I was like, where's he going with this? But then I'm like, actually, he's got a point because there's not much upside in playing tackle because if you miss a block, your quarterback goes down. I mean, that's on you. There's really no one else to blame. Like,
yes. And I get that, I guess. Actually, okay. You know what? You're right. The more that now that you say that, I actually love this quote. It is so true.
I guess if he's saying if you jump out of a plane and you forget a parachute, that's on you, right? And the best thing you can do is survive. So if you have a parachute, then maybe tackle should be playing with parachutes. Is that what he's saying? No, that.
No, it's a great question. And what's funny is, and I'm pretty sure this was him yesterday. I'm trying to find the video.
It was him. Yes, yeah, you posted that on Twitter.
So he says it reminds him of jumping out of airplanes. Okay, the best thing has happened that nothing happens.
Do you have that video up? I can pull it.
You mean like this? The best thing happens that nothing happens. I played football for many years. Not to brag.
He's not bragging at all.
I've never played on the offensive line, though. I have no idea how the offensive line. I was a running back, and I still have no idea how the offensive line. Like, I don't know what footwork, technique, all of that is. So I'm not going to even pretend to know. But I'm going. But I with that said, I feel like this is the worst technique possible. It is for our podcast audience. It's a video of Villanueva. I don't even know who he's going up against.
Is that Chris Jones?
Is it Chris Jones?
No.
I don't think it is.
95.
Yeah. Chris Jones isn't that fat either.
Yeah.
So he uses his right arm. Guys, he's playing left tackle, and he uses his right arm to swat at the Chiefs defender's arm, and the guy just runs right by him. And first of all, both of them slow as all get out. The two could not be slower. Both Villanueva and the guy he's going up against.
I will say, even if that guy got to the backfield, I hope one of the Cineb was in here. Even if they got into the backfield, there's absolutely no way he's catching Lamar Jackson. So,
that is Chris Jones. Damn, Chris
Is it
Jones
Chris Jones?
beefed up.
Look,
Jeez.
Looked like he put on some LBs in the
Yeah,
offseason.
yeah, right. Hey, Chris.
Chris Jones, Chris Jones Jr., I think. Jeez.
Chris Jones, my gosh.
Wow. You win a Super Bowl and you let yourself go, I guess.
Yeah, I'll say, dude.
Ouch.
Yeah, piggies get fat.
The fact that we both said there's no way that can be Chris Jones, and it is Chris Jones.
Yeah.
I don't know. That says a lot. Honestly.
More like Ruth's Chris Jones, am I right? Jeez. Hey, easy on the mashed potatoes, my man. All right. So I just find this is funny. So would he equates what he's doing right here to jumping out of an airplane?
So if he was jumping out of an airplane, I would think that he does not have a parachute on this jump. I think
on this jump
on this particular jump.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's jumping out of an airplane without an air. Yeah, and then it's just and you know when he realized he didn't have the parachute?
Whenever he's chasing him from behind there.
Yeah, right when he swats his arm down, he goes, "Oh crap, I don't have a parachute." And then he chases after him.
The end of the video is great. He's chasing him like a little kid about to like tag someone that they're it looks like he's like reaching out his arms like wait like
not the best off the blocks speed for Alejandro Villanueva, but my goodness, yeah. So two things we learned today. Playing left tackle in the NFL, playing tackle in the NFL is like jumping out of an airplane, and also Chris Jones is now fat. So,
do you see why the Steelers let Villanueva walk in free agency? I think this
what they should have done was brought him on an airplane and let him jump out. Just let him jump out over Baltimore. In fact, that's how instead of running through the tunnel before each game, that's how he should be introduced every game.
Actually, I think that's a decent idea.
Right? I think if you're an NFL player and you know how to jump out of an airplane, like you have that experience.
Why wouldn't you?
Right.
You?
Right.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, at the end of the day, the NFL is an entertainment business, and we need to keep things entertaining. So
it's a funny game, you know.
Anyway, all right, what you got for your back of the week?
Oh boy, my back of the week, and it's back. It's awaited its return for almost 4 years now, actually. Maybe like 3.5 years. But the old Philly special is back. The old Philly special. Now, we all remember the Philly special from the Super Bowl. Nick Foles caught a touchdown.
No, refresh my memory because people don't bring it up whenever there's any sort of reverse pass.
Like fake play. Yeah. So Nick Foles scored a touchdown. I believe Trey Burton threw it.
Teams ran this play well before that Super Bowl. So like why is it all of a sudden the Philly special? Like just because that's what they named it that, but
it was never ran in the Super Bowl. I'm assuming.
I mean, I guess, you're right.
And it took down Tom Brady, and Tom Brady dropped the New England special. So
okay, all right, yeah, all right. So that's a good point. If you're gonna beat Tom Brady in a Super Bowl, then you get naming rights for the rest of the time. All right, I'll give you that.
So this could have also been my ugly of the week, and you'll see why. So here we go. Jalen Hurts snaps the ball. You know, it looks like a little reverse, and I don't know what receiver that is, but just like not only is it fourth down, which is when it was called in the Super Bowl, but it might even been the same yard line actually. But the 49ers expected it coming, and
right. Well, yeah, because it's like if you're feeling, it's like I don't know, like if you go to a damn it, what's the comedian?
Sebastian or I don't know.
Gallagher. If you go to a Gallagher show as a comedian, Gallagher show, and like you have to just expect that he's going to smash watermelons on stage. Yeah. Like you have to come to expect. The Eagles, like you have to expect they're gonna run the Philly special at least once a game. Like that is It's like,
especially given the situation too.
right. It's like Zeppelin playing Kashmir. Like they're going to do it at some point. Like you have to just expect it.
You know what though? So if you look at the score here, it's the second quarter, like a little bit under 4:30 left in the first half, and Eagles have a lead 3-0 over a really good 49ers team. If I'm the Philly coach, I am most likely taking the points there. I mean, it's still early enough. They weren't down a big lead. It's not a point in the game where you like need to be making some risky plays in order for a big payoff. Like this is something that probably could have been avoided pretty easily. And I think it's one of those things that could be a momentum killer. Like I didn't get to watch this game because I was at the Steelers game, but I think the Eagles easily could have won this game just based on the score alone. But I mean, it's maybe it's the new coach. I don't know. It's something you just don't do. I don't know.
If you're known for running the Philly special, like this can't be like a fourth and goal play. Like you can't put the ball in your receiver's hands to make a clutch pass on fourth down. And also
to your quarterback, nonetheless. Too.
Also, why did the wide receiver look only at Jalen Hurts? Watch who is it? Miles Sanders,
running across the middle there.
Yeah, like isn't that supposed to be your safety valve? Is like if Jalen Hurts isn't there, then you look across the field and back to.
Here's a crazy idea: you just tuck it and run and try to score yourself.
that is another good idea.
You're 3 yards away, or at least the line of scrimmage is. So I mean, it's just something that seemed a little unnecessary. And I think the new coach, clearly he watched the Super Bowl that year. I mean, you lived under a rock if you don't.
Yeah, he's like when he calls this play in, he's like fourth and goal. All right.
Do you think he said Philly special?
Yeah, he probably said.
I hope
he probably like looked down his play sheet. He said,
"It's like this is it. This is the moment.
Do it.
Yeah, this is the moment right now."
Well, you know what? Hey, Philly special guys, come on. Like he's like in some sort of like movie scene or something, and then it ends up turning out like this. Like this is. I mean, look, it is. They put the special in Philly special. I'll say that much. It is.
It was special, all right.
My gosh, I would be pissed if I was an Eagles fan, and this was like it would be like if the Titans ran the Music City Miracle on every kickoff return
for no reason, absolutely no reason.
Yeah, it's like all right,
hey, worked once before. Let's try it again.
Give it a rest. Give it a damn rest.
It's time to hang up the Philly special.
All right, my back of the week. Where's my back? Okay, my back of the week. AD. It was trending yesterday. My back of the week is the No Fun League.
Yeah, jeez.
The NFL is back. Like the NFL cannot stay out of their own way when it comes to being not fun.
And it's truly amazing because even after all the times that they changed the celebration rules, right? Like they made it players wear their own things. It's just like it seems like for every progress that they take, they always seem to take a giant step backwards. And clearly this is the step that everyone knew was going to happen. And when they announced this rule change, they knew it was going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
And allowed it to happen.
So yesterday, there was one that I know for sure because it happened in the Titans game that I was watching. I think there was a couple of others, but the taunting rule penalty reared its ugly head in the sport. And I don't know about you, but first of all, I hated this rule when they first announced it. You've got the NFL there. I don't know who needs to hear this, but clearly someone in the NFL offices do. The NFL is full of grown ass men. If I say so,
professionals, I will say
professionals at their sport. Okay. you don't need to penalize for taunting. Taunting is look, and I get taunting being called in Pee Wee football. I get it called in high school football. I get it called in college football even.
Right.
But calling it in the NFL, where it is like literally the grownest of the grownest asked men, like I'm pretty sure they don't need their feelings coddled. If someone makes a big play, they have earned their way to the NFL to make that play. They should be allowed to celebrate it. Okay.
Yes.
And so yesterday, I want to show you this first taunting penalty that we had yesterday, or at least the one that I saw yesterday in the Seahawks Titans game. Obviously, look, I mean, it's no hidden secret. It's no state secret that I am a Titans fan. All right. I was pissed when they called this penalty. Well, and look, it gave the Titans a first down. I'm pretty sure this was either second or third down. So this gave the Titans a first down, and it benefited them tremendously. But I was yelling in the bar that I was at. I was pissed off that this was even called, because watch this. That right there, that little fist pump move, that he does. That's what
got it.
That was the taunting right there. Just the just the barking back at him and the little flinch of the arms. That was what was called taunting. That is absurd. That is ridiculous. That changed. I mean, it did change the course of the game because the Titans ended up on the next 3 downs, ended up punting the ball right back to the Seahawks, getting sacked. In fact, they actually punted the ball from where they would have had the ball because Tannehill was sacked. But so like you're altering the course of the game because of something like that. And if it's a judgment call too, based on the ref, that means every ref is going to be different in how they call this. I'd say 9 out of 10 refs probably don't call that taunting. But for whatever reason, this referee was on one. Maybe dude had his panties in the water or something. And so he ends up calling that. That's where it's ridiculous. And so this is where and so after this happened, everyone was tweeting about the taunting rule and how dumb it is. And because this was a pivotal moment in the game. Obviously, it's the fourth quarter. Titans are trailing by a score.
8 minutes left. Yeah.
8 minutes left. Titans are down 7 points, 30-23. And then this happens. And it could have greatly altered the course of the game. I mean, the Titans ended up winning anyway, so not to brag. But this is when No Fun League went trending again. And I both love it and I hate it when No Fun League goes trending, because it's just funny to me that everyone always tweets the same joke about the NFL standing for No Fun League. But I also hate it because that means the NFL continues to be no fun. And
it means something happened to cause that. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And like, I remember a few years back, the NFL came out and they were like, "Hey, you can now dance. You can now dance in the after touchdowns again. We're going to allow celebrations after touchdowns." Why celebrations went away in the first place is beyond me. But the NFL comes out and they say you can dance after touchdowns. Then and they're like, "How cool are we? Aren't we the cool parents? Aren't we cool?" But then this year they institute taunting, or they crack down harsher on taunting. So to me, the NFL is like they're like a parent who is letting you have your friends over to spend the night. All right. And they're like, I'm going to let you eat lots of candy. I'm going to let you stay up late and drink soda, and you're going to stay up late, and you can stay up as late as you want. I don't care how late you stay up. And you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome." Like usually my parents are pretty strict. I did not expect this. This is so great. So you invite all your friends over and you're like, "My parents going to let us eat candies and drink sodas." And then all of a sudden, then that night comes, and again, your parents are kind of on one. They're a little frustrated. You're probably being a little too noisy, and so, but they still want to be the cool parent. They still want to be like, I don't want to. I want to come across as like cool. So they come down and they say, "All right, guys, time to turn the lights off.
Lights out."
And you're like, "I thought we could stay up as late as we want." And they're like, "Oh, no, you don't have to go to bed, but all the lights need to be off. Okay. You guys can stay up as late as you want. I don't care. But you got to turn the lights off. Okay. All the lights need to be off. That is what the NFL is right now, where it's like you can dance after touchdowns, you can celebrate, but you can't do anything close to taunting. You can't even flinch your arms and do whatever the Seahawks did yesterday after stopping AJ Brown from catching a pass. Like really, NFL, really.
That's unbelievable.
That's what really bugs me.
But they're back, though. They're back.
The No Fun League is indeed back. So welcome back, No Fun League.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got for your ugly?
My ugly of the week. Let me pull it up here. So I got another little video for us, sharing a bunch of stuff today. Here it is. So our good friend, Mr. Jackson Mahomes. So this was him before the game. Let me see if it'll restart here. So Jackson Mahomes, well-known personality, all because of his brother, right? You know, his brother made him famous. Let's just say that, because that's what happened here.
That is no way would he be a TikTok personality without his brother.
With the rise of TikTok, it was like the perfect storm with like Patrick Mahomes' career and TikTok. Like this is like the ultimate peak. So, you know, before the game was played in Baltimore last night, Chiefs Ravens. Before the game, Jackson Mahomes was feeling himself. He was like TikToking on the field, you know, dancing, doing his thing.
I hate him. Hey, AD, I'm sorry. I don't hate people. I don't hate anyone.
I hate him too. I hate him too.
I hate him. And him paired with Patrick Mahomes' fiance.
It's the worst combo in the world, actually.
Because I don't hate them just because they're associated with Patrick Mahomes. I don't like it. It's the obnoxiousness. It is.
It's just him. It's just him.
And Brittany Mahomes, which are they married now? No, they're not married yet, right?
Or no, they're getting
they're engaged.
They have a kid.
Her screaming and like rubbing it in on social media and all that crap. It's like, no, not here for it.
So I mean, like he's going to the game, so clearly he's got a target on his back. You know,
right.
Anytime that the Chiefs lose a game, which they don't lose very often, he's gonna be a target. So this guy, my man in the Ravens jersey, he's probably sitting right in front of their box. Just my hero today. I would never say that. I would never say that about a Ravens fan until this moment, and I mean, and that's what I would do. If I was in that situation, I would be laying into Jackson Mahomes. I would be like screaming in his face. And look, it got to him. It clearly broke him. It clearly broke him.
Right.
So, you know, my hats off to this guy for I think is he wearing a Joe Flacco jersey too? Or I know the one guy was, but
it might be a Hollywood Brown jersey.
No, because he's number 5 now, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
I hate that.
Which, how disrespectful is that for Hollywood Brown to steal just Joe Flacco's number?
Most elite quarterback to ever play in Baltimore.
It's almost like Hollywood Brown didn't realize that Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl MVP.
It's the nerve of him, right?
Oh my gosh, he's so cringy. It's cringe.
It's so hard to like when he's dancing like that, like, and when anyone's dancing like that, forget just him. Like, I get my skin crawls. I can't even begin to describe the embarrassment that I have for that person.
Right. I don't even know.
Dancing in public. Like
I don't know if I would even, like you said, like I would be the same way. I would go right up to him and I would just rub it in his face. I don't know if physically, I don't know if there's enough fibers in my being that would want to get within like a 5-foot radius of him just to do that. Like, because I would be scared that if I went up to him and taunted him and rubbed the loss in his face, that he would like somehow like start doing like a little.
Or imagine if you show up on one of his TikToks. I think that would probably be worse.
And then, you want to talk about damage to your reputation. You show up on a Jackson Mahomes TikTok. Ooh, baby.
Jeez. So, I mean, I don't even know how old Jackson Mahomes is. Like 20, I would guess. I don't even know. But the fact that he poured water on this guy, like, at least pour a beer on him or something, right? Like, I mean, water, like,
right.
That's like, oh, I just got rained on. Like it's gonna dry in a couple seconds. Like that's nothing.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean Jackson Mahomes dances like a guy who doesn't drink. So
Okay.
I would say, yeah, that's the best you're going to get is the water
Yeah.
poured on him.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. But Jackson Mahomes, I mean, he could be our ugly of the week every single week. So
Patrick has to be embarrassed by him, right?
If he's not, then I think there's something seriously wrong with him.
Well, then again, I guess this is talking about a quarterback who doesn't realize how dumb he looks in a helmet.
Yeah,
he's not embarrassed by the way he looks, so he's probably not embarrassed by his brother, the way he makes him look as well. But talk about bad looks all around for Patrick Mahomes. His helmet and his brother just making him look awful all the time.
Ouch.
Just tough.
Life comes at you fast in this league, though, because he's on cloud 9 before that game. He was dancing. I'm on the field. He's like, my brother's going to win this game.
Well, and sure, like Chiefs fans are probably like, oh, Lamar Jackson's never beaten us ever. So we got nothing to worry about.
Up until like 5 minutes left in that game.
Yeah.
It was certainly looking that way. So.
Yeah. Right.
But that's my ugly of the week, Mr. Jackson Mahomes. And like I said, every week he could be.
We could do a good back Jackson
Mahomes of the week.
Yeah. Good Jacks and ugly. All right. My back of the week is
or your ugly of the week.
My ugly of the week. My ugly of the week is Carson Wentz's ankles.
Oh, jeez.
This is my man is I've given this take before on the radio down in Nashville about Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz is injured again. This time it just came out today. Frank Reich said that he has both of his ankles are I'm not laughing.
I'm not laughing either.
Yeah, we're not laughing at the injury, but
I'm laughing.
Literally both of his ankles are what was it? Was it dislocated? No, not dislocated. Sprained.
Like sprained.
He sprained both of his ankles.
The only time you should be sustaining injuries to both ankles if you got ran over by a car or something. Like that's the only time I could think
right. Yeah, or if you fell off of a razor scooter.
Yeah,
Carson Wentz did neither. Carson Wentz just played in a football game. What his job pays him to do, and he has both of his ankles sprained. Only Carson Wentz could do this. Carson Wentz is, oh my gosh, the freaking. That little snake that wraps around the Red Cross, on the logo for healthcare. That guy is not at hospitals as much as Carson Wentz is. All right. Carson Wentz is he's just always injured. And I don't want to victim shame here, AD.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to victim shame here.
But you're going to victim shame. Yeah. Why not?
The Indianapolis Colts had to know this was coming. Okay. It's look, Andrew Luck surprisingly retires. That sucks for him. All right. That just, as a Titans fan, I absolutely love it because the Titans went 0-11 against him. But other than that, I feel their pain. Then all of a sudden they signed Phillip Rivers. And Phillip Rivers is a quarterback who we know what he is. He's so deep into his career. Phillip Rivers, you're going to be in a game close, late.
And you might make the playoffs, too. You might
make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But 8 out of those 10 games that you're in close late, you'll probably lose. Okay. And he'll probably go on paternity leave at some point during the season. Okay.
Yeah, that's also a fact, too.
There's just things you have to come to expect with Phillip Rivers. Same thing with Carson Wentz. Okay. You sign Carson Wentz to your roster, you have to assume he's going to get injured.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a Colt for only a couple of months now. He's been playing for the Colts since training camp started for even less than that, probably a month and a half.
He's already had surgery.
He's already had surgery, injured his foot, and then sprained both of his ankles.
I just can't get over, like, was it one play that it happened, or did he like sprain one on one play and then he like tried to play through it?
I don't like it's
or did he like
at this
just
point.
like, or did he like, I'm like looking at my feet right now. How do you sprain both of them? Like,
Right. Carson Wentz is like the Mr. Bill of the NFL, where it's like, oh no, remember the old claymation Mr. Bill, like the old sketch on SNL.
Always got hurt,
and he would, it always like the Mr. Hand would always come down and like stomp him. That's Carson Wentz on a football field. Like, you have to just assume he's going to get smashed at some point. Like, and going back to like, there are things that you like to expect with certain quarterbacks. Look, Jets quarterbacks are going to suck. It doesn't matter who they suit up there.
Zach Wilson, 4 interceptions.
Patrick Mahomes
great example.
Jet tomorrow, and he's going to suck. Okay, it's just you just have to. It comes with the territory. And the other thing to expect: Carson Wentz is going to get injured. All right, this is a guy who has had a torn ACL and LCL, a stress fracture in his back, a rib hairline fracture, and a broken wrist, all since 2015. All right.
Gosh.
All of those since 2015. I mean, the dude gets operated on so much, I'm surprised his nose doesn't light up red. He, in the Eagles' one and only Super Bowl winning season, Carson Wentz was hurt for it. All right. In his 2019 MVP caliber season, where he was good enough, where there were talks for him winning MVP, he suffered a concussion in the wild card game. Even last year, in the one season where he didn't suffer some sort of injury throughout the entire stretch of the season, he still lost his starting gig to a guy named Hurts. Like, how it, like, you just like
full circle.
Colts, this is on you. You signed him. You might as well have signed him directly to your IR. Like, don't even put him on the active roster.
Signed him with Band-Aids on, basically.
Yeah, right. You should have, the only reason he probably signed with your team is because medical insurance is included. That's probably the only reason he has any professional job. He could retire today based off of like the money he's made in his career so far, but he's keeping going because he needs that medical insurance. Like that is where we're like Carson Wentz getting injured. No one should be surprised. I'm sorry, Colts fans, but like it's
the least surprising thing we've heard all day.
Carson Wentz gets hurt. All right. All right. AD doesn't pay up on bets. I freaking get boners after Derrick Henry touchdowns.
This is also true.
And Carson Wentz gets injured. Okay. It's just, you have to come to expect it.
And the Colts are experiencing that now. So Frank Reich, and the fact that he was his coach before too, he should have known. So this is you're right, totally on them.
Shrike 113 says his nose doesn't light up because his surgeons are that good. That's it.
Yes.
Look, it's a tough.
It's tough. It's a risky operation. Yeah.
You know you're a good surgeon if you can get in there with those little tweezers and pull out like the wishbone without the nose lighting up red.
That's the hardest one.
That is, it is the hardest one because it's got the two little. Oh my gosh, man! All right, AD. Let's get into our 3 for 3.
So a quick update from last week. I submitted my picks remotely.
That's right. Yep.
We both did much better than week 1. We struggled week 1. I don't know if you updated everyone on week 1.
I did not because I knew it was going to be bad.
Austin went 0-3.
All right, we don't need to now. That was 2 weeks ago. We're not going to update
I went 1-2. I wasn't much better. So I went 1-2.
So our 3 for 3 for anyone who's new to this, our 3 for 3 is we pick 3 football games each week and we pick it against the spread. And if it comes true, if you get all 3, you get 3 minutes on this podcast to talk about whatever the hell you want, uninterrupted. No one can interrupt you. You get to talk about whatever you want. And so that's what we're fighting for each week. What did we do last week?
Last week was much better. We both went 2-1.
Okay.
So
that was close. What was
very
what
close.
was the game we got hung up on?
So We both picked the opposite. I had the Vikings and you had the Cardinals. So that was your one loss. The Cardinals didn't cover.
Oh, and the Cardinals didn't cover.
They won the game, but they didn't cover.
Okay.
And I had the Jags +6, and I looked at the box score and saw that Josh Lambo missed 2 field goals, which would have been a cover. So I got screwed over. But it was the Jags. I don't know why I took the Jags. That was just a bad pick. But I think this is the week that one of us will get 3-0. I
hope so. I hope so. All right. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I'll hit you with my picks.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take and I always forget to write down who they play. So that's on me for a second. I'm taking the Eagles this week. Actually,
Ooh, okay.
The Cowboys in Dallas.
NFC East low rivalry. What's the spread?
NFC East, Eagles are getting +4, so we are going to take that one. I will also be taking the Packers, who also play tonight. They play. Oh, is that Monday night? No, that's Sunday night game. They play the 49ers, so also getting +4 there.
Okay.
Eagles, Packers, and this is a game that is probably going to be the game of the week, just based on, and it looks like it is. Rams, Bucks. I am going with Matthew Stafford and the Rams this week. I'm expecting the Bucks to lose their first game. The Rams are -1, so I am going against Tom Brady this week.
Okay. All right. Going to get. Look, you'll never get a cross eye from me on for doing that.
There we go. Yeah.
Hey, do you know Tom Brady is 44 years old?
I also heard he wants to play till 50. Is there any truth to that?
AD, there was legitimately a tweet yesterday where it was a screen grab of like his like first half stats or whatever, Tom Brady, and someone said he is 44 years old.
I'm glad they just keep reminding us every week, because would we even remember if they didn't say it all the time?
I don't know what I'm more annoyed with, the fact that Tom Brady is still winning at this age, or the fact that people continuously remind us of his age. Anyone who sees Tom Brady do anything this year, no one's like, wow, how old is Tom? Like, no one's wondering that, because it is constantly reminded of us. Let's stop with the freaking Tom Brady is 44 years old stuff. All right, there. Sorry, I got that off my chest.
I'm glad you did.
Hey, AD, can you lean into the camera a little bit? Let me see that hat real quick.
Is this who you're taking?
Oh, baby, give me the Pittsburgh black and yellow of the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Bengals -4.5.
I'll be there.
Hey, bring home a winner, unlike you did this past week. Okay.
Yeah, right.
The Chiefs -6.5 over the Chargers. Chargers did not look great yesterday against the Cowboys. Cowboys barely beat them, but I don't know. I just think and the Chiefs are going to be pissed off after losing to the Ravens. They're going to win. They'll probably win by like 2 touchdowns.
Bounce back game.
And AD, what city do I live in?
What?
What city do I live in?
Oh, Chicago. You going to go with the you going to bear down?
Bear down. Chicago Bears. The Bears +7.5 to the Browns. I think they cover and very possibly pull off the upset, especially. And I know a lot of people are upset this week because Andy Dalton, they already announced when Andy Dalton is healthy, he's going to be starting. Justin Fields didn't look great on Sunday. And Andy Dalton did look good. So look, I'm okay. I'm okay if Andy Dalton starts. Even that's not going to change my opinion on this +7.5. So
I like it.
All right, let's get to everyone's favorite segment of the day, the Frank Fact.
Frank Fact.
Frank Fact.
Let's go, Frank.
Pew, 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 pew.
I listened into last week's Frank Fact, and it was a good one. So I have high expectations for this week.
Even when AD is out, he still makes sure he gets in on the Frank Fact, because
that's how much I love him, and that's how much I love Frank.
Well, and that's how much this segment freaking kicks ass. It is a segment where you will get smarter, and This is the time to do it. All right. So today's Frank fact is, okay? Ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
E.T. from the famous movie E.T.
E.T. Okay. Mm-hmm.
He never said E.T. phone home.
This is about to ruin a lot of people's childhood, I feel like. What did he say?
He said E.T. home phone.
So he wanted to make a call.
Yeah.
He wanted to make a call.
Yeah.
He wanted
yeah, or he was like, or they were like, hey, which phone are you gonna use? And he's like,
the home phone.
Home phone.
He's not asking for the cell phone number. He's asking for the home phone number.
Yeah. Which I think I think we can check it right here too, real quick. Here we go. It says, oh well, classic. E.T. dressed up in drag. Well,
What is this? I don't even see anything on the screen.
oh, is it not? Is it not on there?
I don't see anything.
Oh, can you hear it though?
I can hear it. Yeah. Oh, okay. There it is. So
E.T., can you say that? Can you say E.T.? E.T.
E.T. E.T. All right. Hold on. I haven't seen this movie in forever, dude. I have not.
I honestly forget what happened.
Oh, here it goes.
Okay.
He said phone? Can't you understand English? He said phone.
E.T. kind of looks like you, AD,
Yeah, he does.
with that wig on.
Oh. Right. That's E.T.'s home. E.T. home phone.
Wow.
Yeah, see? Here
There
it
it
is.
is.
Phone.
So why has that gotten mixed? Like what happened?
It's kind of like it's Star Wars. Luke, I am your father. He doesn't say Luke, I am your father. He says, no, I am your father.
This reminds me of it's like is it the Mandela effect?
The Mandela effect. Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
The Bernstein Bears.
Yep.
Like the spelling of the Bernstein.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
It is. He doesn't say E.T. phone home. He says E.T. home phone. Phone.
Is E.T. even a good movie? Like I really don't even remember what happens. I know it's Spielberg. I know like
yeah, it's good because it's Spielberg. Spielberg always
is that why it's good though? Is that why everyone loves it?
Or are you saying are you saying people only like E.T. because it's Spielberg? Like if like M. Night Shyamalan would have made that movie, people would have been like, oh, this movie sucks.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I don't hate that take because I don't hate the fact that I see you working. I see you working. Here we go. Shrike with another Mandela effect. Sinbad as a genie all over again. Sinbad was never a genie. Sinbad was never a genie. The another Mandela effect. But yeah, no, I think it's a great movie. Mainly because I think most movies that Spielberg makes, except for Indiana Jones 4, are great movies. And I don't even know if he technically directed that. I think he only produced it. But yeah. So
you would go back and watch E.T. and enjoy yourself, is what you're saying.
Yes, except for the one scene where the astronauts come in, like when they start to put E.T. in quarantine and the astronauts come in their spacesuits.
Quarantine. That's a touchy subject these days.
Oh man, hey. Yikes. But yeah, no, I think it is a good movie.
Okay,
that scene, outside of that scene, that scares the crap out of me even to this day, makes a little pee-pee come out. Then yeah, other than that, I think it's a great movie. But all right, AD, what do you say we get out of here?
Thank you, Frank, by the way, for that, because I would still think it's E.T. phone home.
Yep. Yeah, thank you, Frank Fact. Frank is a guy who used to write for Cork Bats and just started giving us facts on this podcast. Each week, he gives us a new fact. And that was this week's. E.T. never said E.T. phone home. He said E.T. home phone. Go impress your friends with that one this week.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's a party trick right there. Everyone would be like, "No way, man! He definitely says phone home." Like,
yeah.
And then you pull up the YouTube clip that we just watched, and you're like,
"Look, you can win some money. You can win some money right there."
Yeah, you want to bet? Yeah, you want to bet?
Like, no, I'm pretty sure he does. I'd be willing to put like $5 on it, but you have to play dumb, like you're not fully sure, like you didn't listen to the Frank Fact, and then you go and do it. Hey, like and subscribe. You can see all of our socials there at the bottom of the screen. At CorkBats2 on Instagram, at CorkBats literally everywhere else. Give us a follow. Trying to grow this thing. Having some fun this football season. Got some more fun stuff in store. We appreciate all of you guys who follow along and share Cork Bats with your friends. Means a ton to us. We really do appreciate it. AD, do you have anything? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. AD, I've got one more thing, but do you have anything for the road?
I have two things. Number one, football is a funny game. And number two, don't forget to water those plants. We're getting towards the end of the season here. This is when they need to water the most. So make sure you don't forget that.
I do have some news before we get out of here. It's a Bowden College football update. Okay. This podcast is your number one source for all things Bowden College football. The Polar Bears.
I think it's Bowden, though. I think it's Bowden. We did.
Oh, I thought we said Bowden.
I don't know.
All right.
I'm not confusing myself.
All right. So it's Bowden. They had their first game in over a year on Saturday. Last year, their season was canceled because of COVID. They play in the NESCAC up in New England. I don't even know. They're in Maine, right? Bowden.
Yes.
Bowden,
yes,
Maine. Bowden, Maine. They're the Polar Bears. We're the number one podcast for all things Bowden. So we would be remiss if we didn't hit you with an update on the way out the door. They lost to Hamilton College 16-7. It was a close one. It was.
That is super close. Hamilton, is that a Canadian school?
There is Hamilton, Ontario. It is a city, and
New York.
Yeah, they're in Clinton, New York. Hamilton College. Look, you know what they say. Everyone says it every single year. Like, you can't take Hamilton lightly.
Yeah,
Hamilton is a game that will spring up and will get you. And unfortunately for the Polar Bears, they got them this year.
Fortunately, it's early, so there's still time, and they haven't played in over a year, so we just have to remind ourselves of that. So
you're right, and it's this is a bounce back week against Trinity College Saturday at 1. It's the home opener. Hopefully everyone's fired up.
Place is going to be rocking.
Oh my gosh, that barn is going to be the roof is going to come off of it, even though there's not a roof on it. I think you bounce back against Trinity. You got Williams and Wesleyan after that. I think we could be looking at 3-1 going into the Amherst game.
Austin, just a quick guess here. How many people do you think their stadium holds?
I'll say 6,500.
All right, yeah. So you're underestimating the Polar Bear Nation. It's 9,000. So
damn.
Yeah, that's
whoa.
It's a pretty big deal. So it's a little bit bigger than a high school stadium. So
Beaver Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania, home of the Nittany Lions, which we saw with their whiteout on Saturday night.
Right.
Clearly, there's like just under them is Bowden College up
just
in
under
Maine.
them. Just under them.
All right, so hey, go Polar Bears. Hope you guys let's get that first win. Let's beat Trinity. Put the Hamilton game out of your memory. All right.
Yeah, it's over. It's
1-0 this week.
Yeah.
1-0 this week, and
new week.
We're all for the Bowden College Polar Bears here. All right, AD. You got did you?
I let him know. Don't worry.
You let him. Okay, good. You let him know. All right. How do I end this thing? What is the word I say?
We shoot. I know we came up with something. Is it? It might be what you said off the top. Is it?
Oh yeah, it is. It is. What is that?
Ahoy.